Right, so last video we got the 1 added onto it. And notice I was using the zoom in, zoom out, this little navigation cube at the top so I can really see what's happening as I put things onto it. Okay, and I am going to grab a work plane again, and I'm going to drag it, and I'm going to click on another side. And notice I'm trying to line up that right there. So now I can put another one. I'm going to grab my text again, and I'm going to type my text here. I want it to be the number 2. So you highlight, type in a 2. You can shrink it down as much as you want. Okay, once again, if you really want a good view of what you're doing, I recommend clicking on that specific side on that navigation tool right on the top. You click and drag it a little bit. It does not need to be perfect. You guys are still just learning the basics. Okay, so let's go back to front. Does it look centered? No. So I'm going to drag it down. Looks pretty centered now. Okay. And now this is where I'm going to drag it up a little bit. I want to make sure it's going into it. Once again, we're going to turn this into a hole. And I'm going to find that little arrow on the top and drag it down just below the surface a little bit. So that way we're good there. So I'm going to hit next. And we're going to do it again. Okay, I did the number 2 already. Right, it says move it to 1 millimeter underneath, which I think I did 2. Okay, you can see over on the side it says negative, how much. Okay, if it doesn't seem like it's going into it, feel free to do a little bit more. That's totally fine. It's up to you. And we're going to continue doing this and keep adding more work planes as we finish each thing. So I'm going to create a new work plane. I'm actually going to rotate up here so I can see it more. So we have the 2, we have the 1. Looks like this needs moved in a little bit. Right? Okay, so now we're going to grab a work plane, rotate it. That's a little crazy, guys. The best way to rotate is you hold with your left hand, the left clicker, and then you take your right finger and you can kind of slide it around. I know it's tough without a mouse, guys. I get it. So I just added another work plane. Add your text. At this point, we should start to get the hang of it. Okay, I'm going to change it. 3. I'm going to change the size. Obviously, it's way too big. Try to center it as best I can. It's pretty close. Okay, once again, make it a hole. Okay, and then as I'm looking at this, you want to make sure it's going down. Does it look like it's actually going into the shape? Not quite yet, so I can grab and drag it in just a teeny bit. There we go. You can see how now it's below the surface. And I'm just slowly working through, and I'm going to keep adding more work planes as I go. So we're going to add another work plane. Okay, and as you hit next, it's super helpful. So I'm going to scroll underneath. Right, we want to add a work plane to the top. We're going to add text again to the top. We're going to make the number 4. Okay, I'm going to finish this up in the second video or third video. So just hold on a second, guys.